Hey guys, I'm back again with another little bit of a tutorial with the mannequin, because I know there's been a lot of problems and confusion, and I've taken a very long time to get back on this. Um, so, first off, just going to quickly explain right now, if you're looking at this version of Studio and it looks a little bit wrong, um, that's because I'm using the old version of Studio. I'm more accustomed to it. I don't really like the new version as much. So I use this even though it's plagued with problems. However, there'll be an annotation up at the top right of the screen that'll say, new tutorial for a new studio. And I'll change my studio over to the newest version and then show you guys how to do it with that version. Um, so we're going to jump right in here. So you have your mannequin here. These are the buttons that I'll buy. And so as you can see, I have label one for buy shirt and one for buy pants. And then this little area right here, if you put a name in, it will appear above the character, as so. So, maybe if you want to like name it, so that way people know what kind of clothing's on it, whatever. So when you open it up, you can see all this stuff here. You're going to want to leave all this unchanged until we get to the parts where you want to change it. So you want to go over to your inventory. Now it should be noted the way that selling works. So for example, if I was to use one of these things right here that I'm currently not selling, nothing would happen because it's not being sold. Although actually I think some of these might be being sold for ticks, and that's why you don't see anything, because I believe I'm selling this for ticks. Yep. So with selling, if I was to use something like this, it would sell for 100 ticks. However, if I was to use something like this shirt right here, you will see that it's being sold for both ticks and Robux. Right now, the selling system on ROBLOX for an in-game purchase is set to automatically check out for Robux. So if you're selling something for both ticks and Robux, the person cannot decide while they're in the game. They would have to decide on the website. In game, it'll only show them the Robux version. Alright, so we have this script here. What you want to do is you have your shirt here on the website. Up here, you have your link up top. You just need these numbers here at the end. 333646964. Each shirt is different. As you can see, this one's 338. That's the ID of the shirt. So you want to go over here, and you'll paste that in exactly as it is. I just copy paste. Now, when you go over inside the mannequin, however, you'll see this thing that says shirt. If you go over here, that thing really doesn't matter anymore, so you can backspace that. When you paste it in and you click it, nothing will happen. What you have to do is you have to minus the number by 1. So if you're having issues with that, what you could do is just paste it in and -1 on Google, and it will give you the correct answer. And then you could copy and paste it in. It's not very hard math, so you should be able to do that, as you can see. Now, sometimes, however, I don't really have an example right off the top of my head that I have like in my inventory that I could show you, but sometimes the number, if you minus it by 1, it won't work. So you have to keep minusing it. Just keep minusing it by 1, and eventually you'll get the shirt to appear. The same thing happens for the pants. This time, however, I'll specifically pick a piece of pants that is only selling for ticks and not Robux to show you the way that it will default to ticks if it's only selling for ticks. So I know that this is definitely selling for ticks. And so now you go back over. This time I'm just going to do the pants first because I'm already here. Minus it back by 1. And then you go over here and just paste that in exactly how it is on the website. Now if I go into Studio, I believe if I try to click on it, it won't tell me I'm able to. I mean, I'll give it a try, but I'm pretty sure that it won't allow me because I'm technically not like marked as being a player when I'm in Studio. So if I walk over here and I click on it, yeah, it won't pull anything up because I'm not marked as an actual player. But this will work in game. I'm sure of it. So another request I got was about putting hair on Mannequin. So what I did for you guys is in the model now, there's this little cap on it. If you don't want the hat, just simply hold down Alt and click the hat, and then just delete it. Or you can go inside the studio and hit hat and delete that. Whichever you want to do. Now, if you want to put hair on it, I already lined up the front to back and left to right. However, lining up the up to down is a little bit difficult because each hair has a different amount of brick. So now what you can do though is open up a piece of hair, go inside the mesh. This thing says mesh ID. You want to click on that. Go over to here inside the model, say hat, the handle, and hit mesh. And then just paste in that mesh ID. It'll change it. And then, like I said, you just have to change the up and down. So you want to turn off grid and just move it down. Maybe sometimes certain hats you might have to push forward a little bit, push backward a little bit. Just all about getting it to line up correctly however you want it. And that'll be that. And then if you want the coloration of that hat, you have to go back over to the mesh of this hat right here. And it says texture ID. So you're going to take that. You're going to go back over into the mesh, and you're going to paste it into this texture ID as well. And that'll change the coloration to be whatever that is. So you can do it the same with this hair as well. This hair I'll have to move down drastically because it's very tall hair. And it's like that. And then I'll just move it right down onto the head. That's how that works. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around, like I said, if you didn't click the annotation to go to the new version of Studio. As well, if you want to put things on this, just make decals for it. You can just put a decal right on it. No big issue. And so this one is for buying a shirt and this one's for buying a pant. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed, and if you have any issues, feel free to comment down below. I'm always happy to help out with any kind of issues you guys might have. And stick around if you want to know how to do it with the new version of Studio. Alright guys, I'm back now in the new version of Studio. Looks kind of similar, but I'm just not in love with how big this banner bar is, and it takes away certain things that I want to be able to use. So for the most part, if I could actually get this to move up, like I said, I don't use this version at all. It's a little bit clunky to me. Anyways, guys, so I'll just go over a few brief things that I talked about in the old Studio version that should be talked about with this version. If you go to the website and you look at your clothing, because obviously you're going to probably want to use your clothing. Now, admittedly, if you use somebody else's clothing and put it on a mannequin inside your game, anybody who buys that clothing, you will get 1% profit from it. So if it's 100 tickets being sold off, then you'll get 1 ticket. So it's not really much cash at all, but if you have a very good game, you could end up getting some okay profit from it. Anyways, though, so I'll open up this shirt right here, and open up this shirt right here. So as you can see on the website, this one's being marked as being sold for 10 Robux, and this one is not being marked as being sold at all. The reason is Roblox defaults to Robux nowadays, and so this shirt is actually being sold for both Robux and ticks, and so they default on the Robux, whereas this shirt's only being sold for ticks, so it doesn't really understand what's going on. Now, if I was to take a shirt like this where it's being sold for both, and I put it on this mannequin and I make it all set up so that way you can buy it with this button right here, it'll automatically default to the 10 Robux to the person. They do not get to choose whether or not they want to buy it for ticks or Robux. So if you want it to make sure to sell for only ticks, then on the website, you have to make sure that the Robux is not being checked. Now into the how do I get this to sell part. So you have your shirt here. You're going to want to go right up here in the link to this number. You're going to want to copy that, Control C or right click copy. So you want to copy that number, and then you want to come over into Studio here, and you're going to want to open up the mannequin. You have the buy pants and the buy shirt button. You want to open up buy shirt, hit the script right there, double click on it. It says ID equals. Right after that, you want to paste the number. You want to make sure to keep a space in between. If you don't, it can kind of mess things up. You want to go back into Studio now, and now open up the actual mannequin part. This part right here, it doesn't have a name, but if you did name it, like for example, if I name it character, it'll put the name above the head. So if you want to put something there, you can do that. I usually don't, just because it looks a little bit weird, and I'd much rather just put a sign. So now in the shirt, it says shirt template. You can just get rid of all that mumbo jumbo right there. Paste that in. Now you notice nothing happens. It's not on. The reason for that is there's a difference between the website ID where it gets sold and the website ID where it's being rendered. So what you want to do is you just want to backspace the number by 1. So you see the ending number is 4. We'll make that 3. Now, in the case that that was 6-0, you want to backspace both numbers and make it 5-9. Because that's -1 of the overall number. So if you have any issues with that, what you can just do is go to Google and make sure to minus that by 1, and it'll give you the answer that you need. And you can copy paste that in. So you can do the same thing with the pants. It just goes in this little pants bit, and opening up that buy pants script and putting it in. It's all exactly the same as the shirt. Once you have it down, you have it down. Now, as you can see, I have this little black beret on top. If you don't want that, you can just delete it. No harm, no foul. But if you do want a hat, I've already taken care of much of the left, right, and front, back. The only thing is each hat has a different amount of height, so you will have to change the up, down. So to do that, you would go to the remove right here, and right here in the model area, you want to turn off. This will turn off gridding, and this means that when you go to move it, you can move it to whatever exact height that you need it, instead of it being on a lock. The reason is because these hats are going to be different amounts of height. So you want to open up the hat here, what you want, and it'll say mesh. Right here it says mesh ID. You want to copy that and paste it into the mesh underneath the hat handle mesh. Paste it right on the mesh ID, and it'll change the hair. Now if you want the color, then you also have to go back to the mesh that you're using, hit texture ID, move back over to the hat that's on the mannequin, and paste that into texture ID, and you'll get the color. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit off, so I'll move it down, and it looks like this hat just barely needs to be moved forward. Sometimes it can happen. Some hats, just have a different amount of sizing. So you can just move that around until you get it to the spot where you want it. For example, we also have this hair right over here. Show you that it still works all the same. This hair, as you can see, is a much larger brick than one of these. So I'm going to have to move it down quite a bit. Go to the mesh. Go to the mesh over here, mesh ID that in. If I wanted to, I could keep it purple. You can do that with different kind of colorations and textures and stuff like that. And then get the texture ID from it, bring it over, and put it on there. And then I would just have to move it down to where I want it. So, just move it down right there. You can see, it has a nice flow off the back and looks good on the front. As well, if you ever want to change the body colors, you want to go here and do it. It just works a little bit better that way, instead of just painting it. So you want to use that body color thing right there. has to do with the fact that the mannequin is technically a living object, even though it's not. It's just how Roblox works. So, and also just to show, like, for example, if I wanted to, I could use like the yellow bit on this hair onto this other hair. Obviously, it won't match up right, as you can see, like that brown and like the blue is all weird and stuff. But you know, it's something that you could mess around with and try to see what different hair combinations that you could do. This works also with like top hats, fedoras, anything that you want to put on top of a character. You just have to make sure to, you know, put it in the right placing. Anyways, guys, I hope this all helped. You know, I really can't show you that these work, but trust me, they will work. I'll open up the little menu, and you can feel like Kestrel. Anyways, guys, really happy that you guys watched the video. If you have any issues, you know, leave a comment down below. I try to get to them as much as I can. The whole reason for this video was due to a response of how would you get hair on top of a mannequin, and also I really badly need to make a new video with both the different versions of Studio. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, drop a like. If you have any questions, you know, drop a comment. And hope to see you guys next time, and hope to see your great, amazing stores that you guys make. See ya.